Close your eyes and let the world slip away. Welcome to Voice of Time channel, where we unravel the strangest, most captivating beauty secrets from the depths of history. From ancient palaces to candlelit boudoirs, we explore the rituals women dare to embrace in their pursuit of perfection, rituals that dazzle, shock, and sometimes terrify each night. Join us for a soothing journey into the past, perfect for drifting into dreams. Settle in, relax, and let's step into a world where beauty was both art and enigma. Today, we travel to the gaslit streets of Victorian England, where elegance hid a dangerous obsession. Imagine a woman at her vanity, a tiny vial in hand, ready to transform her gaze with a single drop of poison. This is the story of Belladonna, the beautiful lady, a plant that promised luminous eyes but carried a deadly price. Why did women risk so much for a fleeting moment of allure? Let's uncover this mesmerizing tale as we delve into one of history's most audacious beauty rituals. Stay with us and let the shadows of the past guide you into a night of wonder. Close your eyes and let the modern world slip away. Picture London in 1860, where the air hums with the clatter of horse-drawn carriages and the faint glow of gas lamps lights cobblestone streets. The scent of coal smoke lingers, mingling with the perfume of rosewater and lavender. This is the Victorian Era, a world of starch collars and whispered propriety, where beauty is not just a desire but a currency, a silent language that shapes destinies. Tonight, we embark on a journey into one of the era's most audacious beauty rituals, the use of Belladonna, the beautiful lady, a plant that promised to transform eyes into pools of enchantment at a perilous cost. Settle in, relax, and let's step into this mesmerizing chapter of history. The Victorian Era, spanning Queen Victoria's reign from 1837 to 1901, was a time of profound contradictions. Industrialization reshaped the world, steam engines roared, railways stitched empires together, and science began to unravel nature's mysteries. Yet, for women, society's gaze was unrelenting. The ideal Victorian woman was a vision of purity, alabaster skin, delicate features, and eyes that sparkled with an ethereal, almost otherworldly allure. The eyes, often described as the windows to the soul in literature of the time, were more than a feature. They were a canvas for transformation. Belladonna, or a trope of Belladonna, offered a way to craft a perfect gaze, turning fleeting glances into lasting impressions that could alter a woman's fate. The name Belladonna, Italian for beautiful lady, was a fitting moniker for a plant as seductive as it was dangerous. Its dark, glossy berries and vibrant green leaves concealed a potent alkali coal atropine, known since medieval times for its ability to dilate pupils. To the Victorians, this effect was a cultural obsession. Dilated pupils signaled youth, vitality, and a hint of mystery, qualities that could elevate a woman's social standing, secure an advantageous marriage, or simply command attention in a crowded ballroom. Historical records, such as articles in the Ladies' Magazine from the 1860s, subtly reference women using eye drops to achieve a luminous gaze, a discreet nod to Belladonna's widespread use among the fashionable elite. But why did women go to such extremes? To understand, we must delve into the Victorian psyche, a complex tapestry woven from progress and restraint. The era was marked by a fascination with science. Charles Darwin's theories were reshaping worldviews, and chemistry was advancing rapidly, yet social norms remained rigid, particularly for women. They were expected to embody "angel in the house," a term coined by poet Coventry Patmore in 1854 to describe the ideal of domestic perfection, virtuous, submissive, and radiant. Beneath this idealized image, however, lay a ruthless reality. The marriage market was a battleground where beauty was a weapon wielded at balls, teas, and soirees. A captivating appearance could mean the difference between a life of comfort and one of obscurity. Belladonna's allure was rooted in this social crucible. Dilated pupils weren't just aesthetic, they were strategic. A wide-eyed gaze could draw suitors, impress peers, or even sway a room's opinion. Diaries of socialites, such as those of novelist Mary Elizabeth Braddon, hint at the intense pressure to maintain an impeccable image. With beauty rituals forming a daily armor, Belladonna promised to enhance this armor, offering a way to stand out in a sea of competitors. Its use wasn't merely vanity. It was a calculated act of agency in a world where women's power was often limited to their appearance. The plant's history stretched back centuries, adding to its mystique. In Renaissance Italy, women used belladonna to enhance their eyes for courtship, a practice that filtered into Victorian England through trade and cultural exchange. By the 19th century, apothecaries sold belladonna tinctures under discreet names like High Water or Lady's Drops. These were marketed as beauty aids, but their origins were far darker. Belladonna was a poison used in medieval times to dispatch enemies or induce visions in mystical rituals. Its dual-nature beauty intertwined with danger made it irresistible to a society that romanticized the forbidden. Apothecary manuals, such as the Pharmaceutical Journal from the 1860s, caution against its toxicity, yet its popularity endured, a testament to the era's complex relationship with risk and reward. The Victorian fascination with belladonna was part of a broader cultural obsession with optics and perception. The 19th century saw the rise of photography, spectacles, and even the kaleidoscope tools that reshaped how people saw and were seen. Eyes became a focal point in art and literature, celebrated by authors like Charles Dickens, who described heroines with sparkling orbs that captivated hearts. Fashion plates in Godey's Ladies' Book depicted women with large, luminous eyes, reinforcing the ideal. Belladonna allowed women to embody this fantasy, aligning their appearance with society's expectations. But this alignment came at a cost, as we'll soon discover. The ritual's reach extended beyond the aristocracy. While wealthy women commissioned custom blends from London's Bond Street chemists, middle-class women and even servants used homemade tinctures, often at greater risk due to inconsistent quality. This democratization of beauty reflected the era's social shifts. Industrial wealth created a burgeoning middle class eager to emulate aristocratic ideals. Yet, it also exposed more women to belladonna's dangers, as cheaper preparations were less reliable. The plant's allure crossed class lines, uniting women in a shared pursuit of perfection. However perilous, the Victorian woman who reached for her belladonna vial was both a product of her time and a rebel against it. She was shaped by a society that demanded beauty, but also used that demand to assert control. Applying belladonna was a small act of defiance, a way to manipulate perception in a world where women's agency was constrained. As we drift deeper into this story, let's explore the ritual itself, how it was performed, why it captivated hearts, and what it revealed about the women who dared to wield its power. Now imagine a Victorian boudoir. Bathed in the soft glow of candlelight, a young woman sits before a vanity, her reflection framed in intricate gilt. On the table rests a small glass vial, its contents shimmering with promise. This is no ordinary cosmetic's belladonna, the elixir of enchantment. With a delicate hand, she tilts her head back, lets a single drop fall into each eye, and waits. Within moments, her pupils widen, transforming her gaze into something hypnotic, almost otherworldly. This is the belladonna ritual, a delicate dance between beauty and danger that captivated Victorian women. Let's uncover how this practice worked, why it held such power, and what it cost those who embraced it. The ritual began with the plant itself. Atropa belladonna, native to the hedgerows and apothecary gardens of Europe, was both beautiful and deadly. Its dark, glossy berries were crushed to extract a potent juice, which was carefully diluted into tinctures or eye waters. Historical texts, such as Nicholas Culpeper's The Complete Herbal from 1653, a reference still consulted in the 19th century, described belladonna's ability to enlarge the eyes when applied topically. By the Victorian era, apothecaries had refined the process, creating standardized drops sold under discreet names like Ladies' Drops. These concoctions were both a product of ancient herbalism and the era's burgeoning pharmaceutical science, blending tradition with innovation. Applying belladonna as a ritual steeped in precision and secrecy. Women would retire to their dressing rooms, away from the prying eyes of servants or suitors. A single drop in each eye was enough to trigger the desired effect. The pupils dilated within minutes, creating a striking, doe-like gaze that seemed to pierce the soul. The effect could last for hours, making it ideal for an evening at a grand ball or an intimate dinner party. But the application was fraught with risk. Too much belladonna could cause blurred vision, dizziness, or even more severe symptoms. Apothecary manuals, such as the Pharmaceutical Journal from the 1860s, issued warnings about the plant's toxicity, yet its allure was too potent for many to resist. Why was this hypnotic gaze so coveted? The science of attraction offers a clue. Dilated pupils are a subconscious signal of interest or arousal, a fact not lost on Victorian women. By artificially widening their pupils, they could mimic this effect, drawing suitors like moths to a flame. Fashion plates and Godey's Ladies' Book depicted women with large, luminous eyes, reinforcing the ideal as a pinnacle of beauty. Belladonna allowed women to embody this fantasy, if only for a night. But the ritual was more than aesthetic, it was a performance of power. In a society where women's agency was limited, controlling how they were perceived was a subtle but potent act of defiance. The preparation of belladonna drops was an art in itself. Apothecaries blended the extracted juice with water or alcohol, often adding rose water or lavender to mask the plant's bitter scent. The vials were exquisite, often etched with floral designs to disguise their dangerous contents. Wealthier women might commission custom blends from chemists on London's Bond Street, where apothecaries catered to the elite. Others relied on homemade recipes, passed down through generations or shared in hushed tones among friends. Diaries from the period, such as those of socialite Mary Elizabeth Braddon, hint at the ritual's popularity among the upper classes, though it wasn't exclusive to them. Middle-class women and even servants used belladonna, often at greater risk due to the inconsistent quality of homemade tinctures. The act of applying belladonna was intimate, almost ceremonial. Women would sit before their mirrors, steadying their hands as they tilted the vial. The drops stung slightly, a sharp reminder of the plant's potency. As the pupils dilated, the world around them would blur, colors softening at the edges. For some, this was a small price to pay for the transformation, a gaze that could stop hearts and turn heads. For others, as we'll see, the cost was far higher. The ritual was a fleeting escape into a world where beauty could open doors, win hearts, and defy the constraints of a rigid society. The secrecy surrounding belladonna added to its mystique. To admit to using such a dangerous substance was to invite scandal, as it suggested vanity or deception. Yet the pressure to conform to beauty standards was relentless. Etiquette manuals, like the Habits of Good Society from 1859, emphasized the importance of a captivating appearance, leaving women little choice but to take risks. The belladonna vial became a tool in this delicate dance, offering a glimpse of control in a world where women's power was often confined to their reflection. As we prepare to explore the consequences, let's linger on the image of that woman at her vanity. Her eyes transform, unaware of the shadow creeping closer. As the candlelight dims in our Victorian boudoir, the woman at the vanity gazes into her mirror, her eyes now wide and luminous. The belladonna has worked its magic, transforming her into the vision of beauty she sought, but at what cost? This ritual, so seductive in its promise, carried a hidden toll, one that could blur not just vision, but lives. Let's explore the consequences of belladonna's allure, its lasting impact on Victorian society, and the echoes it leaves in our modern world. As you listen, let this story carry you into a place of reflection where beauty and danger intertwine like threads in a delicate tapestry. The immediate effects of belladonna were as striking as they were deceptive. Dilated pupils gave women the coveted, luminous gaze, but they also impaired their vision. The world became a haze, with objects losing their sharp edges. For some, this was a minor inconvenience, easily endured for a night of admiration, at a ball or soiree, but repeated use brought graver consequences. Atropine, the active compound in belladonna, is a potent neurotoxin. Over time, it could cause chronic headaches, dizziness, and even hallucinations. Medical journals from the 1870s, such as The Lancet, documented cases of eye water poisoning with symptoms ranging from rapid heartbeat to seizures. In extreme cases, blindness was a real risk, as the optic nerve strained under the constant dilation induced by the drops. The social consequences were equally profound. Belladonna's use was a closely guarded secret, whispered among women but rarely acknowledged publicly. To admit to using such a dangerous substance was to invite scandal, as it suggested vanity or, worse, deception yet. The pressure to conform to Victorian beauty standards was relentless. Etiquette manuals, like the Habits of Good Society from 1859, emphasized the importance of a captivating appearance, leaving women little choice but to take risks. Those who overused Belladonna often paid up public price. Rumors of ill health or unnatural beauty could tarnish reputations, even as the practice continued in private dressing rooms across London. Belladonna's legacy extended beyond the individual, shaping the broader culture of Victorian beauty. The ritual reinforced a troubling idea that suffering was a necessary price for perfection. This mindset wasn't unique to Belladonna corsets that crushed ribs, arsenic-laced face powders that poisoned skin, and other hazardous practices were common. The era's obsession with beauty was a microcosm of its deeper tensions, a desire for control in a rapidly changing world, where industrialization and social upheaval challenge traditional roles. Historians like Carolyn Day, in her book Consumptive Chic 2017, argue that Victorian beauty practices were a form of agency, allowing women to navigate societal expectations through calculated risk. Belladonna, with its promise of enchantment, was a poignant example of this delicate balance. The ritual's impact lingered in Victorian society, influencing beauty standards for decades. The obsession with luminous eyes persisted, even as safer alternatives emerged. By the late 19th century, advances in chemistry led to less toxic cosmetics, but the cultural ideal of the perfect gaze remained. Belladonna's use declined as medical warnings grew louder, but its mystique endured in literature and art, where wide-eyed heroines continue to captivate. The plant's story is a testament to the era's complex relationship with beauty, a blend of aspiration, sacrifice, and defiance. Now, let's step into the present, where the echo of Belladonna resonates in our modern beauty culture. While we no longer drip poison into our eyes, the pursuit of the perfect gaze persists. Contact lenses that artificially enlarge the iris, lash extensions that mimic the drama of dilated pupils, and cosmetic surgeries like blepharoplasty reflect the same desire to enhance the eyes. Social media filters, with their ability to widen pupils and smooth skin, are a digital descendant of Belladonna's magic, offering instant transformation at the tap of a screen. Yet, like their Victorian counterparts, these modern tools come with risks: body dysmorphia, unrealistic standards, and the pressure to perform perfection online. The science of beauty has evolved, offering safer alternatives to Belladonna's poison. Regulations such as the U.S. FDA's Cosmetic Act of 1938 have banned harmful ingredients, ensuring that modern cosmetics are less likely to cause physical harm. But the allure of quick fixes remains. Products promising instant radiance or youthful eyes flood the market, often with exaggerated claims that echo the Victorian apothecary's promises. The Victorian woman who reached for her Belladonna vial might recognize herself in the modern influencer chasing the next viral beauty hack, or in the consumer browsing shelves for the perfect mascara. Beauty, then and now, is as much about perception as it is about reality. As we reflect on Belladonna's story, it's a reminder of the lengths we go to be seen, to be remembered. The Victorian woman at her vanity, with her vial of ladies' drops, was not so different from us seeking to craft an image that aligns with the world's expectations. Her story invites us to question, what risks do we take for beauty today, and what do they reveal about our own society? As you drift toward sleep, let this question linger, a soft thread connecting past and present in the quiet of the night. As we leave the flickering candlelight of Victorian England, the story of Belladonna lingers, a tale of beauty, ambition, and the risks we take to be seen. Those wide, luminous eyes, crafted with a drop of poison, were more than a fashion statement. They were a glimpse into a world where women wielded beauty as both shield and sword. What do you think? Would you dare to try a ritual like this? Or is it a secret best left to history? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this journey through time captivated you, give this video a like and subscribe for more tales of beauty, strange and fascinating past. Thank you for joining me tonight. As you close your eyes, let the shadows of Victorian elegance fade, carrying you into a world of dreams where the past whispers softly. Until our next story, good night.